daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Daily Newcastle. My name's Iain Mackay. I'm the host tonight. We're going to preview the Fulham game in a little bit more depth than the girls managed to this morning. And I'm joined by the member of the team rarer than the hawfinch. It's Mr. Kevin Esther. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. I mean, I say this every time I come on, but my life is mental at the minute. But to be fair, I'm buzzing to be here. So, yeah, I've missed all of you. To be fair, and to be honest, Iain, you're my favourite, so I've missed you the most. But yeah, like I said, it's been a bit carnage. But whilst my life's been carnage, Newcastle have been brilliant, haven't they? I think so. Anyway, I know the table doesn't reflect that in the league, but I think it will pretty soon.
I agree with you, and I think we've talked about how we haven't got as many points as we should have, given the performances we've had. Heartbreaks against Liverpool, Arsenal, even Brighton, really. You know, after that last half hour, and once we'd equalised, there was only one winner.
Exactly.
And sadly, it wasn't us, it was Danny Welbeck again. So I agree with you. We haven't got as many points as our performances have deserved. But in the Champions League, we've been going really, really well. And you're the only member of the team who hasn't had a chance to say how you felt about Tuesday night, Kev. You were there.
Yep.
Are you just going to gush effusively?
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I mean, everything about it, I thought the atmosphere was really good. I'm not going to say fantastic because I think Barcelona and PSG's kind of ruined getting to that level ever again, or maybe Arsenal in the semi-final. It wasn't at that level, but the atmosphere was brilliant. The war flags were unbelievable. So even before the game, I was really happy. And then the performance on the pitch was just fantastic. Benfica looked quite well set up early on. I thought we looked quite organised. It did fall apart once we kind of scored. They looked like they couldn't really hurt us once we went one behind. But I've got to say, Gordon for me has been so hit and miss for the last couple of months. But my God, that's the Anthony Gordon we want to see. He was so direct every time he got the ball, going at their right back. And a lot of the time, it was just knock and run. He wasn't doing anything special. It was old-fashioned 90s winger. I'm faster than you. I'm going to knock the ball past you. I'm going to get there first. Then you've got a decision to make. I thought the crossing on his left foot was very good. But for me, Gordon was brilliant. We need to see it in the league a little bit more. And the other thing, I am completely in love, Iain, with Nick Voltemade. I fell in love with a player for the first time since I feel like I'm 12 again. I want the shirt. I want his name on the back. I want the long sleeves. I want to buy the same boots as him. I want a poster of him on my wall. Not that my missus would be happy about it, but I've completely fell in love with Big Nick.
Do you want the curly hair?
I want everything.
Moustache?
I want everything. I'm going to grow my hair back. Honestly everything.
The thing is, you can tell when you watch him. I mean, I've got a chap at work in the business next to me is a Sunderland fan.
Oh.
Still convinced that we've wasted our money on an unknown German. He's never really done much. He's too tall. He's gangly. He's like Peter Crouch. I'd just say that's because you're not watching him.
Berber Crouch.
He's not flashy, but what he does is so good. He holds the ball up so well. This little that touch, that back heel for Gordon third to set Barnes up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Actually,
I agree.
Whilst we're still on Barnes, by the way, I've been Barnes' biggest critic. How do we get Barnes? And I know this will be a question, Eddie, and all the coaches. How do we get Barnes to replicate these performances off the bench when he starts? That's got to be a separate pod at some point throughout next week, because when he's off the bench, he looks so dangerous. I like him when he comes off the bench. He's direct. He gets a ball. Even on the right, he wasn't even playing in position, and he got 2 goals off the bench. Same in the previous Champions League game against USG, came off the bench, got a goal. He was on the left that time. But every time he seems to start, he doesn't seem to do it, and that frustrates the life out of me. But I've got to give credit where it's due. I actually thought Barnes was fantastic when he came on. So maybe I'm wrong about Barnes. We'll see. But I just wish he could do it from the start.
The cheeky monkey in me was thinking to myself that what do we buy Alanga for if we can have Barnes and Murphy down the right fighting each other? But maybe that's the answer for Alanga. We've got to play him down the left and see how he gets on down there, because he's done that a lot at
Yeah.
Forest.
He has, yeah.
But let's mix and match. Let's mix and match. Anyway, we are not here to review the Benfica game, Kev. Although I am pleased you've had your chance to say how you enjoyed it as well.
Thank
I
you very
enjoyed it.
much.
I went. By the way, that means I've been to see 3 games
Ooh.
this season, and we've scored 6 and conceded none.
I
Won
think
all 3.
I think your luck's changed with tickets since I got you that ticket last minute. Since that game, you've been to loads, haven't you? I've changed your phone by getting you that one ticket.
Which one did you get me?
Was it Forest at home?
Wolves.
Yeah, it was Wolves. Big
Yeah,
win.
Wolves. I came out in the ballot in Forest, I think.
Yeah. I got you the Wolves game. You've been to a Forest game, and you had the Benfica
and
game as well.
I got a Benfica game off Joanne, and I've got tickets for. I'm lying. I've been to Bradford as well, and I've got tickets for Tottenham. So I am getting to see a
You're
few
on
games.
fire. You're on fire, Iain. I'm taking all the credit. Once I give you that one game, your luck's changed and you're in all the time now. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. I can't remember if I went to see Forest or not. I think I did. Bruno scored, didn't he?
It was a
Yeah, I
good
saw
game.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Anyway, this afternoon, because everyone's listening in the morning, Newcastle play Fulham. And after the girls did their pod, Eddie Howe held his press conference this morning, Friday morning, and updated us with quite a lot of different injury news, etc. Did you hear that? Do you want me to run through it? Do you want to run through it?
I think I can't believe, I know he's not going to play, but Tino's back on the grass already. That's insane. Lewis Hall's pretty close, but I don't think he's going to make this game. And Tonali's still touch and go, isn't he? Which I think, are we not just better off leaving Tonali if he's not quite ready? We've got a busy week.
I think when we assess what the risk is, I think you leave Tonali off.
I agree.
You let the Geordie Tonali, Lewis Miley, keep his place.
He did very well.
Doing his fabulous number 6 Tonali impression and freeing up Bruno to play all those defence splitting assists through. I would leave him out, but we are going to go on to picking our team in the next part. Excuse me. So that was it, really, wasn't it? Although Wissa has had another scan, and they've sort of said that when he comes back, Eddie was saying when he comes back, he's going to have to go through a 6-week pre-season program. Not that means that he's not going to play, because obviously he'll come on for his 20 minutes here, half an hour there. But that's 6 weeks on from starting in the middle of November, takes him through to the Africa Cup of Nations. We might not see him start a game until February or whenever he comes back from that. But we're not missing him that much, I wouldn't have said. I think we did in the first couple of games, but Nick Valdemara's hit the ground running so well.
Rudy Berbercrouch.
And if the wingers can start playing the way they played in the Champions League, in the Premier League, then we've got plenty of people running past them.
We need Gordon to do it in the Prem.
Other side of injuries, which has got to be mentioned, and this is why it'll be okay to leave Tonali watching from the comfort of his sick bed, is that Fulham are knackered. They have so many players out. They're struggling in a bit of an injury crisis. I can't remember all of them because I haven't written them down. But the stars that are going to be missing include Anthony Robinson, who was immense for them against us when we played down there and beat us 3-1 last season. He's out. Muniz, who scored the winner at St James's Park last year, is out. And new out is Christensen, the centre half they got off Crystal Palace, who I think we were kicking around a little bit.
Anderson
in the summer for, weren't we?
Jacques Anderson.
Yeah, so they're going to be stretched. They were already stretched.
Yeah, we've got Samuel Chukwueze's out as well. A new signing, rapid, really, really fast.
Right.
He's also out. So I think Sasha Lukic might be back, as will Tom Kearney. And then Harry Wilson's kind of 50%. So even Harry Wilson,
Wow.
who's been a very good player for Wales over a recent international break, he's only 50% to come back in. So if he does play, he won't be 100%. So yeah, Fulham look a little bit on the last legs, but I'll through gritted teeth as a Newcastle fan, because that's normally when when
Yeah.
I listen to his back and I think, oh God, what an idiot!
It's normally when the 18-year-old out of the reserve
Oh,
team
gets his
steps in
first
and
goal.
does
Yeah.
really well. I heard Tom Kearney, by the way, was struggling as well after
Mhm.
the Arsenal game. So yeah, there. What that might mean, we see, of course, is Kevin playing down the wing. Brazil, is it Brazilian Kevin?
Brazilian Kevin. Yeah, he's just the Brazilian version of me. He's not as good, but he's not bad. But actually, he's looked really lively, so it'll be interesting to see him, especially if we've got Byrne at left back. Obviously, I think we all probably now agree Byrne is a much better centre half. But with Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento injured, hands are a little bit tired unless you're going to bring Alex Murphy in. But then if you bring
He
Murphy
won't
in,
need
you've got to
Byrne out.
drop Botman. You've got to drop Botman or Chow. But again, it's really difficult at the minute. So Kevin could have some success. It's weird saying Kevin could
Well,
have some success.
there you go. Let's pause and listen to Ken, and we'll actually pick a team in part two.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalized supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Kevin, you really are enjoying life, aren't you? Because you reckon you can hear music. I can't hear
I
music.
did.
I think it's just in your head.
I could have swore I could have heard something there. I thought it sounded like I don't know what it was. I mean, it's gone now, so I'm happy it's gone. But
Has it?
I
Oh,
was
so
going a bit crazy, maybe.
I think it's just you're doing you're doing a 1950s musical film sort of dream sequence where the music's just playing in your head, which is nice.
Just
It bodes
wandering
well.
off, daydreaming.
It bodes very well for tomorrow. Um, Now we're right into this a game every 3 or 4 days through to the next international break. So we've
Yeah.
got to think about rotation. Do you think playing possibly the most important of these three games next Wednesday, when it's the game against Tottenham for the quarterfinal in the Carabao Cup that's up for grabs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that factors into who played against Benfica and therefore who might be left out?
I think you know what? I actually think this game might be more important. We need to start picking up points in the league. I know we've only lost 3, and we've talked about performances being better than what our points tally is, but performances don't get you back into the Champions League next year. And I think the league now becomes joint with the Champions League in terms of priority. I'd love to win. I'd love to defend the League Cup, and I'd love to see Newcastle lift another trophy. 2 in 2 years would be amazing. But right now, where we sit in the table, I think Fulham's probably the priority over Tottenham. So I think he's going to go as strong as possible. I think the good news is Joe Linton's coming in fresh. That's going to be huge, especially for a home game, because he came off the bench against Benfica, but I think something like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that'll be massive. I do miss Fabian Shaw. Going back to the Benfica game very slightly, there was an opportunity when they were sitting quite deep and we needed that crossfield ball. And I love Chow on the ball. I think Botman's okay on the ball. And he's been very good defensively recently. But we missed Shaw. And I think in a game against Fulham where we are probably going to have most of the ball, I think it's really important for Shaw to come in and get some minutes. Whether or not he will, I don't think he'll change it too much, if I'm honest. And I think it'll be the same team, but I think it'll be Ramsey on the bench with Jordan in, and I think you might rotate more for Spurs. But I don't know how you feel about
Um, By the way, I'm sure when we were signing Malik Chow, he doesn't only just play centre back; he plays right back as well.
You can, yeah.
So there is an option to give Big Dan Burn a rest by switching Trippier over to the left and Chow at right back.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
could bring
interesting.
Shah in to cover for him with Botman, or
Mhm.
Shah with Burn. And I don't think that weakens the defence too much. And in fact, it might tighten up anyone coming down the left hand side because Trips
Mm.
he's a wily
Yeah,
old character, isn't he? Even playing on the
yeah,
wrong side. Good enough for
yeah.
England to do that. So, I don't know. It's just a thought. Well, Eddie Howe doesn't kind of throw everything out and start again, though, does he? I
Not
think he
really.
might. It's probably going to be the same back four. And maybe he'll take them off after half an hour, after quarter of an hour of the second half, if we've got ahead.
Mhm.
Just 1 second, Kev. Sorry about this, folks.
I'll keep talking so that Iain can delete it. I
You
kept
weren't
talking, Iain.
mental. You
I
weren't
kept.
mental, Kevin. There was loud music playing. That's what happens when your son is an aspiring DJ and is away.
I knew I could hear
Takes his
music. I knew I could
takes
hear
his
music.
headphones off. Takes his headphones off, and the place turns into disco inferno. Um. Anyway, close the door now, so we can't hear him. So yeah, midfield. You think you would leave Ramsey on the bench and bring
I
Joe
think
Linton
you'll
in?
bring Joe Linton back. I think Bruno will play, and I think Miley did. I thought Miley was excellent. I think the
Yeah,
last couple of appearances, Miley's been great. He got an assist off bench as well against it was Voldemort's back heel against Brighton. So Miley got an assist. I think
absolutely.
it'll be Miley, Joe, and Bruno. I think.
Right. I think, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Ramsey didn't keep his place as well and Joe came on a little bit earlier. Maybe it'll do a half each. I think you've got to get Joe back for Tottenham for sure,
Yeah.
which is why I think he might keep Ramsey in. And the same front three, obviously Voltemada and Gordon, you couldn't leave them out.
Nah, they're linked
But
up now.
who starts on the right wing? Is it Murphy? Is it Alanga? Is it Barnes?
Oh, I mean, Barnes got 2 goals, but Murphy got the assist. And Murphy was putting in some dangerous crosses earlier on against Benfica.
He
I think
was.
Murphy keeps his place. I think we will see the best of Alanga by the end of the season. I think it's going to take him time. He's still relatively young. I forgot how young he was. So I think we'll see the best of Alanga by the end of the season. I think Barnes is going to be unlucky, and I don't know how you keep leaving Barnes out because he came off the bench against USG and scored 1. He came off the bench against Benfica and scored 2. But Murphy also got an assist, so a goal contribution, and Gordon got a goal and an assist. So I don't know. It's good problems to have, but I think it'll be a front three of Murphy, Voltemada, and Gordon. I think if we're ahead, we'll see some changes early on. I think we could see Alanga, Barnes, and Asula by the end of the game. Again, thinking ahead to Tottenham, maybe you're half an hour left. If we're 2 or 3 up, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But as a Newcastle fan, you know it's just going to be 1-0 and it's going to be close. So yeah, I think. Which game do you think's bigger, Iain? Do you think this game against Fulham is bigger than the Spurs game, or the Spurs game is bigger than the Fulham game? Because we need points. We need points.
We do. I mean, they're both massive. And the thing is it? It's away at West Ham the following week, which is even bigger to win because I mean I think they're getting hammered off Leeds tonight, aren't they? Um, but then it doesn't stop because it's Athletic Bilbao the following Wednesday in the Champions League again. So this is what I mean. This is why there should be some rotation because you cannot pick the same 13 players to start, let's say,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and expect there not to be a drop off in quality when Willock comes on or Ramsey comes on,
Yeah.
which undoubtedly they will in the second half. I think it's important that there's maybe 18,
Yep.
19 players who think they're in the first team.
Mm-hmm.
They're just rotated out. You know the way that say a team like Arsenal or Liverpool have got that many players. Trossard at Arsenal, he's a first team player, but he certainly doesn't start every game.
Yeah.
We need to get to that point, and I think maybe it's going to get easier. I think they're starting to trust Miley now, which they haven't done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with
They're
that.
getting close to starting to trust Asula, maybe, which they haven't done in the past.
Getting more
As they
minutes.
are
Yeah.
bringing him on, giving him a few more minutes. He scored a couple of goals. He's played a fabulous assist against USG. I know We're going back in history now, but I haven't talked to you about it yet. He was integral in that goal that Barnes scored for the fourth goal at USG. But I think we need to get into doing that. And the thing is, we've got 6 midfielders, and Bruno cannot play every single game, partly because he's played every one bar one of the previous 80 games that we've had.
including
He can't
Brazil.
keep doing that. He can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if we start trusting Ramsey and we start trusting Miley, then you can give Bruno the West Ham game away from home off, for example, because we should have enough for them. We should have enough for them, but we should have enough for Fulham as well, given how stricken they are with injuries.
Yeah.
We've picked our team. I think that's a winning team, but I think we could slot Shah in without it happening.
I do miss Fabian Shaw.
Without it doing.
To be fair, we actually have defenders we can trust. If you remember last season, the centre halves were hardly ever rested. It was Sean Byrne pretty much for the whole season. Botman had his injuries, and we didn't really trust anybody else to come in there. And now Shaw's had the last 2 or 3 games off pretty much, which you won't be happy about. Cause I actually think, was it the Wolves game? It was the Wolves game. I had that massive striker, didn't it? I thought it was one of Shaw's best defensive performances he's had in his entire Newcastle career. And that was only about 3 or 4 weeks ago in terms of Premier League games. And now we can't get him a team. So we do have more players we can trust.
It's harsh for him because he only lost his place, not even because he got injured, but because he had banged on the head.
Yeah.
And he had to sit it out through this concussion protocols. He's never got back in since because of the performances of Chow and Botman. And that's what Eddie always says. If you can get in, you've got to take your chance, and then it's up to somebody else to try and take that. Anyway, here's a bin dipper. Probably agrees with Arnie Slot calling Newcastle a smaller club. Bloody rubbish.
Here at Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Zencastr.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like,
extra R in between the A and the S there. Zencastr. Anyway, thanks, Jesse, for the Zencastr ad. And what did you think about that? Arnie Slot calling Newcastle. I don't get him. Apparently, Isaac went off with a groin injury. Really?
Shock.
Who knew that might happen?
Shock.
But Slot was saying that it was because he hadn't had enough pre-season training at the smaller club. Come on, that's not our fault. He did that on his own, didn't he?
Shimmy went on strike, innit? Idiot.
And I would say, of course, that he has been training at Liverpool for the last 6 weeks. If they really want to turn the light on the training being the cause of this groin strain, well, that's Liverpool's medical team and training guys.
What I will say about that whole situation, right? I mean, Slot is Liverpool are a bigger club than Newcastle. You can't deny that. So I'm not going to even try and say that. But to call Newcastle a small club is just, who do you think you are? Like, Christ almighty, have
disrespectful.
A bit of respect. Exactly, have a bit of respect. And the other thing with Isaac is, it's unbelievable karma in a way. Not that he's injured. Not that I would never wish injury on a player, even if they did do us wrong. But it's unbelievable karma, isn't it? Isaac, through his purely selfish actions, has cost Newcastle points in the league when he was refusing to play, and we were crying out for a striker, right? He's cost Sweden because he wasn't fully fit or up to speed. We lost to Kosovo, so he's cost Sweden probably World Cup qualification by not being at his brilliant best and driving at Kosovo defenders who are probably part-timers. So he's cost Sweden, he's cost Newcastle, and ever since he's joined Liverpool, we've barely won a game because we have to play him. We've played that much money for him, and he can't get going. So through his own selfish actions, he's buggered up two clubs, and his country. What can I say? It's karma. Don't go on strike. Just be professional, play, get your move, and you're fully fit. You help your country, you help Liverpool maintain the league, and you help Newcastle pick up a couple extra points as well at the start of the season. Be a professional. So for me, I've got no sympathy for any of them. Any of them involved in that move no sympathy.
Well, I think in the what everybody might be thinking as well, of course, is that the reason that Wissa hasn't trained with his teammates yet is also karma, because he was exactly the same
True.
at Brentford.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
quite so public about it, but
I agree.
it's amazing how these things do come around. Anyway, on to the onto the crystal ball gazing, Kev. And when you finish
Oh,
gazing at your balls, perhaps you could give me a prediction for the score tomorrow. Now, I watched Nicola and Joanne do their prediction. Nicola's gone 2-0. Joanne has gone 3-0, I think. So they haven't left us much to play with, really, unless you think it's going to be a horrible draw. But
nah,
yeah, there you go.
I think we'll have enough to win. I don't know. Fulham aren't normally retired. I think it's going to go. All right. I'm not going to go 2 or 3-0. I think probably, if I'm being honest, I'd probably want to go 2-0, right? But I'm going to go 1-0. I think Fulham might defend well, and we've been defending pretty well recently. We looked really solid against Benfica, other than a worldy strike from 35 yards, which clipped the post. So, and I haven't even mentioned Nick Pope when you asked about a Benfica game. That's wow, what a throw. But I think it's either going to be 1-0 or 4-0. So I'm going to go 1-0 because predicting a 4-0 just asks for that karma I mentioned before of us getting beat. So I'm just going to go a very cautious 1-0 Anthony Gordon winner with a Nick Voltemade assist. Get that in your bet.
Well, if you remember, about this time last year, West Ham, who were even more decimated by injuries and in much poorer form
We came and won.
than
Yeah.
than Fulham are, and with a manager who was honestly the Walking Dead almost,
Yep.
turned up, and I predicted us to win 4-0 that night, and we lost 2-0,
Yeah. That's why I'm
which
not
was
predicting 4-0.
horrific. So I'm not going to go that. I do think we're going to have way too much for them, and I think our tails are up. Certainly, if it's the same front three for the first hour. So I'm going to go for the first time this season. I'm going to go for the Iain Mackay 3-1 special. How's that?
Yes. Well done, Iain.
Gordon Voltemade, and let's have a debut or an opening goal for Malik Chow from a corner.
He's been close a couple of times. I tell you
He
what,
has.
Matt Sells against us for Forest
Forrest.
pulled off a worldy save from Chow. Like,
He did.
what a save that was. Also, Matt Sells has the unluckiest record at Newcastle, by the way. He always has a worldie. He got dinked off Isaac, a penalty, down the middle where he almost clawed it out, but
Oh
it went
yeah.
in. And then he was up against the penalty of the century from Voldemort. So even though he has worldy games against us, he always does well. The poor lad hasn't got a good record with penalties against us.
He hasn't got a good record against anyone yet this season,
Good.
apart from Porto. But Sean Dyche will sort him out. That
Yeah, he'll
was
get him defensively sound again.
amazing how a switch of the manager can suddenly. Well, Dyche picked the players to play in the positions they're familiar with playing with in a style that they're familiar playing in.
Yeah,
And
a
strangely
defensive
enough, they
style.
won 2-0.
Shock.
So I think Forest's form is about to pick up. Fortunately, we've already beaten them.
Get
Anyway, so it was 1-0 for Kev. It
Yep.
was 3-1 for me. That only leaves Michael with a rather
4-0.
amazing 7-2 win for Newcastle, which get your money on it now. Michael's told me he hasn't really. But stranger things have happened. Stranger things have
It
happened.
could happen. Look at the Champions League
Um,
week with like 7-2s and 6-1s, and I was like, "What is
well, it's
happening
that kind
tonight?"
of a week. It's that kind of a week.
Yeah, Halloween
Um,
coming up.
I would love that. Thank you very much indeed, Kevin. It's been lovely to see you again and check out that you are, in fact, still in the land of the living.
I'm alive. Yeah.
A week into a new job with a lot more
Oh,
driving to do. Is there a lot more driving to do? Or you'll go
yeah,
from
a
Chester
little
down
bit.
to
I
Peterloo?
think round mile trip. It's about 10 miles extra a day, 10 to 12. So yeah, it's the A19 though, so you know what the traffic can be like depending on how you
I
catch it.
do. I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's hoping we get organised to do a little bit more. I've been Ian Mackay. That's been Kevin Esther. We are delighted to have had you listening to us. Thank you very much. If you don't want to miss anything else, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you have disagreed with anything that we've said, by all means, leave us a little message. I don't know if you saw one of my solo pods. Someone left me a message, and he just said, "Football is one of the greatest money laundering scams that there is." And it was just like,
Let's get
really?
into a politics session.
I know that was the only comment I got. So I mean, I replied, "This sounds interesting. You should do your own podcast. Have you checked out Zencastr?" Oh, see,
Well
I do
done.
all of this. I do all of this without any extra payment, or in fact, any payment at all. See you soon, Kev.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.